At 7:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 12th, DOTA Underlords tweeted, "Next week," with a video showing off a new character. This is Jull. We've known about him since Underlords actually shipped in the first place. I mean, hell, he's on the mobile loading screen and was on the menu for a long time. Jull is the third in a series of 10 Underlords that the Valve team will hopefully be getting out over the next 6 months. And Jull himself has actually had probably the most leaks out of any character in Underlords that we have seen. His model was at one point within the files with some early animations, and added within the same update that brought Knockout mode were all of his voice lines, recorded by 2 different actors. There are 2 folders, one called Jull Alt, that sounds like this.
"What passes for wine in the South is a disgrace. What they call whiskey? Ha! An abomination."
And another just called Jull, which sounds like this.
"What passes for wine in the South is a disgrace. What they call whiskey? An abomination."
It's safe to assume that the second voice actor is the one that is actually being used due to the fact that there are significantly more lines under that actor. Also, this actor already recorded voice lines in response to Enno, the 4th Underlord that we're likely not seeing until Season 1 fully ships.
"It is a shame you rose against me, Enno."
And also a line called Trailer.
"I have heard some people call Whitespire the city that law forgot. I never cared for that nickname. Mama Eve did not forget the law. She removed it. But now someone has removed her. And it is time to find Whitespire, a new lord."
Trailer is one of 2 things. Number 1, if Underlords ships in 1.0, it might be a full animated source filmmaker trailer with all 4 of the hopefully shipped Underlords, Hobjin, Anesix, Jull, and Enno, or it might just be a full trailer for Jull. My money's on the first. If you want to hear all of the leaked voice lines from both of the actors, I have a video up on the second channel with all of them uploaded. I'd check them out if I were you. The problem is, from my perspective, this is too little too late. I love Underlords, and I have since it first came out, and ever since Knockout mode came out a couple weeks ago, I'm honestly playing the game every day. But there are obvious problems. Shipping the Underlords concept, which in itself is heavily original within the auto-battler genre, and very much defines Underlords as its own thing, is taking too long. Only 2 Underlords makes all games kind of laughable, as in the beginning of each game you see which Underlord each player picked, and it's just the same 2 pictures repeated over and over again. Also, these Underlords are being designed with many different playstyles in mind. Only having 2 different characters to choose from mean you're essentially playing a healer or heavy damage. Jull and Enno are supposed to balance the whole thing out and have been designed that way from the beginning. Drip feeding these characters out one at a time is really not good for the life of the game. I understand that the Valve team likely can only get these out as quickly as possible, and they're doing the best that they can, but you need to remember the original Underlords concept came with 10 characters. There are 10 Underlords that we already have a lot of information on through item flavor text and the original side profiles of all of the characters that you played as before the Underlords were actually added within the game. Honestly, the game is bleeding players. It started with 200,000 concurrent, and in the last 30 days we've peaked at 21,000. They are adding a lot of interesting content within the game. I need to stress this, Knockout mode is the best rule set of the game in my opinion. If you haven't played it, it takes the 40-minute full auto chess game and reduces it down to about 8 minutes. The problem is that the developers have been promising a much larger experience that will be shipping at some unknown date. The Battle Pass and Season 1 are supposed to be the thing that introduce Underlords to the world, and seeing how Valve has been communicating on literally every other front, I'm sure we're going to be getting a marketing push once we do hit Season 1 and the game being fully released. Exactly what's coming with Season 1 appears to be changing behind the scenes. We know we're getting a full paid Battle Pass, and with that Battle Pass comes a lot of different types of rewards, including new boards, new cosmetics, different Underlords outfits, different sound files, etc. But the major piece of the puzzle that the Underlords developers have been teasing is City Crawl. And City Crawl appears to have challenges and rewards from a linear progression system where you gain different things by reaching points on a 2D map of the city of Whitespire. You claim locations, or specifically buildings on the map and in the city. Some rewards are accessible to everyone, while others are actually premium rewards, which are connected to people who purchase the battle pass. You have to complete challenges which lead you down linear pathways, and eventually you will reach a location and claim an associated reward from that location for a specific Underlord. Now, in order to reach these different buildings, you need to traverse the paths between them. Those paths each have associated challenges, and completing these challenges appears to unlock a specific path. Challenges can be the ones that exist in the current battle pass, however, they can also be puzzles. And puzzles represents an entirely new game mode where you have to achieve an objective, which is presumably win a game given certain circumstances, while certain additional resources and restrictions can be applied to the normal rules, like limiting the number of units you can have, or limiting the number of stars allowed to be given to any unit, or limiting the number of total stars to be earned on the entire board. Problem is, within the files of the update that brought the Knockout game, the events file that referenced City Crawl and allowed us to find it in the files to begin with, renamed the event scripts from Season 1 to Season 2. It is possible that the developers have delayed City Crawl to a later date for Season 2. We're still waiting for the Season 1 Battle Pass and pushing what could likely be the game's selling feature to an even farther future, likely gonna kill the game. There needs to be a full marketing push. Season 1 needs to be out as soon as possible, and unfortunately we are losing players. Jull will be out next week. The Underlords team has said so, and that's exciting. Jull, to be completely honest, is my favorite character Valve has designed in over a decade. He is a mafioso walrus who doesn't take crap from anybody and drinks a lot. He used to be a bootlegger as far as I can tell, but has now legitimized his business and sells alcohol to everybody in Whitespire. And after Mama Eve passed away, the person who used to be in charge of Whitespire, he's very much gunning for her seat because he is the business mogul of all of Whitespire. I love mafia movies. I love this character. I know that Steve Jaros has already written 10 characters, and we are now 6 months into the game's lifespan, have only played with 2, and have only seen 3. This is at the same time that Teamfight Tactics and Auto Chess are dying, and Valve is doing the right thing in differentiating itself from all other auto battler games, but they are taking far too long to get some of this content out. I honestly don't have anything negative to say on why it's taking so long. It's honestly just because they have very high standards at Valve, and they're trying their best, and likely working against the Half-Life Alyx development team, trying to have as many resources as they possibly can. And this is just the situation. But there need to be far more Underlords for that feature to be at all worthwhile, and we also need some kind of marketing push after the game goes into Season 1, which at this point we are not seeing until January, if not later, and that means we're not going to be seeing these other Underlords and likely City Crawl until Season 2, which likely won't happen until summer, if not later. I have no idea what's in the future for Underlords. I don't even know if there's going to be enough support for this game to be able to get through all of the features that are planned for it. The Underlords development team surprisingly has been transparent throughout the entirety of its lifespan, and thanks to just the enormous amount of leaks that have happened over the last few months, we know everything that is coming. It's just what we have is an incomplete picture of something that I really want to play. These puzzles are connected to lore. It's essentially single-player progression. Knockout mode is phenomenal and really lends the Underlords gameplay to play well on a mobile device, because a game could take like 5 minutes. However, there just needs to be more variety, and the variety comes from these Underlords and their interactions between each other. And only having 2 of them at one time, well, there's a lot of repetition. So I wish the team well. I really want to see City Crawl. I really hope you did not delay it until Season 2, but the evidence suggests you did. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening. Also, big shout out to my friend PistonMiner for helping me figure out all of the mechanics of City Crawl, as well as providing the assets related to City Crawl that you are seeing in this video today. PistonMiner always pulls through, regardless of what I ask of him, and that's just amazing. Such a great programmer. If you want to be able to follow up on all of the topics I cover on this channel in real time, check out my Twitter page, linked down in the description below. It's at Valve News Network, okay? If you are confused about anything or have a question about anything, my Twitter DMs are always open, and my email is tylermcvicker@yahoo.com. If you want to be able to support these videos, check out my Patreon page, linked down in the description below, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Have a good day. Adios.